after so many modules, module 6 part 3, the final part of module 6. So excited to talk about module 6 part 3, wherein we will talk about tooltips, cross filter, drill down, and how to make things responsive for mobile devices, and so on and so forth. Synchronization of slicers we have seen, so we will see that, review it once more over here, and drill through also, cross filter and all these things we are going to see. These are the most advanced features of Power BI today. So let's jump on to the details. So here we have the same module 6 data visuals, ERP data visuals module, the file that we just had converted into a theme based report or something like this. What we are going to do over here is we are going to how to create the tooltips, and how do we create and configure the interactions between the visuals. So these two things we are going to see back to back over here. So when you look into a summary, so what happens is that when you click on this, or let's say just take your cursor, you will see that it automatically shows you some data. So it says total revenue and this kind of things. However, there is an option to actually bring in a page which might be called as a tooltip, let's say. And what we can do is, for this particular page, we can go ahead and then say the size of this page as tooltip. And here what we can do is we can just bring in some data. Let's take an example, some data, and let's say I just make a small table over here. See how big this table looks like over here. It's a magnified thing. And then we can call it as, let's say, order, some order details, and you can say order ID. So I can bring in the order ID over here, and then I can bring in the order date, something like this. So order ID and order date. This much of detail we are keeping. And then what we say is we have something called a drill through option. And then we say that how do we drill through over here. So let's say if somebody is talking from the measures perspective, or somebody is talking from the product perspective, category perspective, these all things we can bring in over here. So we say that if somebody is talking from the product perspective, category perspective, we should be able to see it as a drill through. So we go to dim products and bring in the product name. Product name we have got. And similarly, we can bring all other details and mapping and other things also. So you can bring in the date also. So if you want. So whatever, I mean, wherever people are clicking on any date or product, or let's say the customers. So you have customers. So suppose you have the customer name. So you bring in all these things, and then what we do is we go to summary page, and here you can see there is an option for bringing the tooltip. So you can see tooltip over here, and it says a report page, and then you can, basically, I'll just show you. All these details you will be able to see over here. So suppose we have the tooltips data, so we can bring in the tooltips. We can enable the cross filters, keep all the filters, and so this one, what you can do is you can just call it as my tooltip or something like this. We go to summary, and we say right click, and we say my tooltip. So we should be able to see only those orders. So you can see the order based on the date like this. So for a particular product, you can see over here. So what happens is when you look at it from the perspective of from the cloud perspective, you will see all these details. I mean, suppose if you just have here, and you can see there are some options wherein you can look into the categorical data and all these things also. So suppose you have only the revenue, but you need the total customers to be displayed over here, or let's say the total orders. So customers will not make sense because customers are static. So total orders among which. So what happens is when you take your details, so when you click here, it says revenue and also it says total order. So all these things can be seen over here. So usually what we do is we just hide this page, and I mean, actually speaking, when you just go to this section, you have tooltips section over here, and you can see that it can bring in the default or it can bring in some report page also. So if you go to tooltip, so if you see here, this is actually a page information which is talking about that this is a tooltip page, page size, page information, and you just need to say that it is a tooltip. So tooltip, you enhance this. You go to the summary, you click here and go here, and then go to tooltip page, and then you can see over here something called tooltip. Let's see what happens. So if you just click over here now, so you can see which are the orders that were given by this particular customer. So just like that, right? So if you just have to enable these details. So here it is already there. You are not configuring over here. That's fine, absolutely. And here if you see the same option, you can see the customer, product. So based on whatever analysis you are progressing with, you will be able to see all the details directly in that tooltip. So you can configure that. And then suppose if you say that, okay, whenever so now what happens, you just cross filter. So if you just click on, let's say this quick store shop, you can see this is getting changed and this is also changing. Now let's take an example. You don't want this to change. It should be always there. So what you can do is you can click on this particular chart, go to format, go to edit interactions, and then you say that I don't want them to talk. Something like this. So these all four. Same goes here. You say that you don't want them to talk. So this will always be static. This will not move like this. If you remove, see what happens. If you just now click on this quick stop, so the first one did not, I was not able to find the interaction. So if I click now and go to edit interactions, so now it is visible. So earlier it was not visible. So if you just now go here as well, it was not earlier visible. Now it is visible. So we need to be a bit careful about working with this visuals. So now what happens is if you just first of all just take your cursor and then click on quick stops, so you will see that none of them are changing. So it is not changing over here. And you can see that quick stops have got these products over here. So the visuals are in place and the tooltips are also in place. So now we know how to bring in the tooltips part also and how to bring in these details over here. Predominantly when we bring in this particular understanding that, okay, how do we analyze the data. So we need to make sure that data should always be treated from the perspective of descriptive as well as insight. So both the things you need to take care of whenever we are talking about this dimensional data or something like this. So we have seen how to synchronize the slicers as well. So let's have a quick look at the slicer synchronization once again. So here now we have the slicer. We went to view and we went to sync slicers, and now you can see there are multiple other pages also. And let's take an example. Q&A page doesn't have the slicer. So this is Q&A page, and you can see right now the slicer is not here. But let's say we decide that to bring the slicer over here. So what we do is we bring it over here, and we wanted to bring the slicer. So now what we do is we go to summary, click on this, and we see that Q&A needs to also have the same slicer. So I bring in the slicer and automatically it is getting synchronized. So if you now go to Q&A, you will see that your slicer is already visible over here. So bringing the data, bringing the slicers from one place to another, it's a very easy task when you come with the Power BI visuals. So now if you just click on meat and poultry, if you go to any of these tools, any of these particular sections, you will see all of them are synchronized. So this is not only from the categorical perspective. So imagine you are actually creating a report, and this has got month-wise report, let's say. So there what you can do is, so when you select it, let's say I want the for the report for the month of April. So when you have already selected it in the first go in for the month of April, you would expect that when you go to each and every page, that April should be already selected. That's the work that is done by this visual actually. So take an example. I just so now I told you that we have this space available with us. I will show you the utilization of this space now for this same kind of slicers. So I bring in a slicer over here, a small slicer, and then what I do is I bring in month. So we have month over here, and we know the date hierarchy month, and we bring in month over here. So all the months are there. We not sure why there is blank, because there is some data where I have put multiple places, right? So we have from minus 30 days plus 30 days concept we did when we were working on this calendar. So here we say that I don't want, I want everything, but I don't want the blank. So the blank has been removed. Now I do not have a place over here to fit in this slicer. So what I can do best is I just remove this, and then what I do is I go to this small drop down and then make it as a drop down over here. Now what happens is I'm ready to put it in this small space, something like this. I mean, I can remove this slicer header, and then I can bring in over here to just to give a look and feel. What we can do is I can just take something like this or a different color so that people can see it precisely that okay, there is a section over here as well, some kind of drop down over here as well. So now what can happen is this particular drop down just once created. So what I can do is I can just go to analysis and I can remove this. I can go to tabular. So because I have already got the structure over here, so I will remove everything like this, and I go to summary. Now I click, I have clicked on this particular feature on the slicer, and I go back to sync slicers, and I see that it is only visible in summary. Now what I do, I want to bring it in analysis, I want to bring it in tabular analysis, and smart analysis, and then I click on the summary, and that's it. So now what happens is, if you just go here and select the month of May, so automatically month of May details have come. And if you just go to analysis, you will see that it is only showing month of May's data. So it is all showing month of May's data. So month of May of 1997 versus month of May of 1998. So much of flexibility you get when you use these kind of features. Okay. So please remember, it is like magic, but there is a difference between magic and whatever we are doing over here. Magic is illusion, but this is a solution. Oh my God, what I said. Magic is illusion, but this is a solution. And this will work for you when you have greater understanding of the data. Right? So the more you practice, so first time when you just see a video, it might be overwhelming. When you start doing it, practicing it, it will get better and better. And when you say that, okay, I now don't require the video, I've seen the video, now let me practice it without the video, then that is somewhere you will achieve that level of competency. And then when you say that, okay, let me now generate this kind of modules or videos, or at least let me get into a webinar or get into a virtual class or something, and let me teach my fellow either students or fellow employees or staff or fellow professors, teachers, whosoever. Let me teach. That is where you will gain, or that is where you will retain 90% of whatever I am showing. So always remember to practice and then deliver it. So you try to become another me. So I was not born a data analytics person, right? I had to practice, and over years, I'm talking about 20 years, because there were not, I mean, don't take that 20 years, you will also take, because in our cases, 20 years I took because there were no resources as such. You have now fundamentally every resource that is required at your fingertips to master this skill. Would urge that you please take the step ahead and then make it a milestone that you have achieved in terms of data analysis. We go back to our module. We have seen the demo, we have seen the drill through as well, the interactive visuals, how it works. We are now going to see how do we actually export the underlying data out of this particular section. And then finally we will talk about the mobile layouts. So let's take an example that we have got this particular data and we have all the orders and the customer's name. By the way, what you can do is you can do some kind of movement over here as well. So let's say the title is coming in the left hand side. What you can do is you can just go ahead and then bring it to the center. It looks nice. Bring it to the center, and then sometimes you might not want to have the title also. So it's up to you how you want it. You might try to, I mean, just try to do some kind of experiments. I mean with this, right? So there are multiple options, and if you just don't want, so you can simply say no fill. So I like this plain and simple look. Now what I am trying to discuss over here is, when you look at this data, it says total orders with customers, and you are able to see all these things. Now what you do is you click on these three dots, and then you go to this option called export data. So what will happen is this data will be exported. So let me just show you how this will be exported. And we are here and worked files, and I will get this data over here. If the data has got any underlying data points as well, so let's take an example of this. So it will bring you all the underlying data as well. I mean, you can have the summary or the underlying data, both the things you can bring in. So now I just go to my worked files, and I see that total orders by customers is already there in a downloaded format. So you can see automatically the total orders by all the customers. So you don't have to again go back to the original data to get it. You can directly get it from Power BI over here. So now after doing so much of task, now it's the turn to actually move your report to a place where it will be used for mobiles, let's say. So basically this report that you are seeing right now, they are well consumed as a desktop report, not as a mobile report. Now before moving on to the mobile report, we need to make sure that the components are in small pieces so that it is easily visible onto a mobile environment. So now what we do is we say I'm in a desktop, so I go to this option called mobile layout, and you will see that the entire data is on the right hand side and my mobile layout is on the left hand side. Now here there is a small tip that I can give it to you, that if you want, you can choose not to bring everything into the mobile version as well. So that is also possibility. So now what happens is, suppose I say that at the top I should see the text box. So you have the text box over here, and so this is a mobile layout. So this is a very thin band, and then you have to fit everything over here. So then, I mean, usually what we do is after the report, we bring in the major, I mean, actually speaking, you can bring in right. So you can bring in the logo of the company as well, and then you say that okay, whatever the things I want to bring. First of all, the total revenue, which is the most important thing, and then going back to total customers, which is the next important thing for me. Then bringing the I mean total products that I have. So you can see one by one things are getting removed from the side panel, and then finally the total orders. So you can see total orders. You may or may not bring everything into this. So you can say that okay, I will bring in the total orders, these two, but I don't want to bring in the other data. So you have this data, and you don't want this total revenue over time, so don't want that. You want to have the tab like this when it was last refreshed, and that could be the last one. And then what you can do is you can bring in the slicers in between. So you can bring in slicer over here like this. So that makes it responsive for the mobile. So you can always go back to the web view, and you will see that it is visible. So what happens is, when you see it on a mobile, if you place your mobile in a, I mean, this state, then what will, I mean, elongated format I'm talking about, then you will be able to see that layout that we have just discovered or displayed. But if you just put it in a landscape mode, automatically it will convert to the desktop mode. So desktop and mobile layout are interchangeable, so you don't have to do specially anything. So it automatically changes based on the requirement. So now my data is all ready. So what we can do is, I mean, by the time we do a quick recap of this entire thing, what we will do now is, we have already developed this report. So we might just bring up some one or two visuals over here. So these are the visuals we have already made. I would like to bring in one more visual over here. So something like this. We can call it as, let's say, this is also a very important analysis. We call it as tornado analysis. So I'll show you what tornado analysis means. It is actually the use of a chart called tornado chart. That's it. So we bring in, first of all, the visualization. So first of all, the regular visualization. We have this funnel chart. So I'll show you how these things work. We bring up a funnel chart like this, and we bring in, let's say, the product categories. We have the category name, and we have the revenue like this. It showcases. And then we decide that I wanted to see how much we got revenue in a weekday or a weekend. So now if I just want to bring in a weekend or something like this, it will be a mess. It will show something like this: true, false, true, false, true, false. So weekday, weekend, weekday, weekend. This is not a view that I would love to see. There is another view. I can just convert this into a bar chart and then try to bring in weekend over here. And then, if you see, sorry, in the legend part, so now it will look something like this. Same kind of data, but weekend data. So weekend, true or false. So in weekend, how much was the revenue, and weekday, how much was the revenue. So weekday is always more. You can see it over here. Now what you do is, this is a bit clumsy kind of a view. So what you can do over here is, you can bring in another custom visual. So we will go to the marketplace, and you will see that it is the most commonly used. That's why at the top. So commonly used visual, and you can see it over here. So marketplace has got many visuals. Almost related to infographics, related to gauge, tachometers. So many things are there. But what we are going to take is the top fourth one. You can see, over here, tornado chart, and we say add, and we add it. It gets added. So the process is very simple. Now what I will do is, I will just bring in the next section over here, and I will straight away convert this into a tornado chart, just like that. So you can now see that the same chart is now so, visually appealing. So you have the true and the false, and this, and how it is properly looking as a data point like this. So this is how you build up cases after cases, and we have tried so many features, so many options, and believe me, when we focus on the next module, when we analyze this data, we will be bringing more and more such visuals. So what we will do before we proceed, we just publish this before we end this particular module. We publish this and to the masterclass, and by that time, so it will ask to replace. I will say replace, and by that time we are deploying this, and by that time we will just have a look at the summary, what we have learned in this module 6. We talked about visualization, what is good visualization, bad visualization, how to form a report structure on the canvas. Just like a PPT, you can call it as an active PPT, right? So active slide. So how to do that. And then we saw how to make up stories. The only part is not to just bring in the data and then make it visually appealing. But you have to also see how to go about the storyline. You should always have a storyboarding that should be in place over here. And then we see that how do we develop these kind of reports and take it to the the cloud. And in cloud we saw that how do we manage the tiles and the dashboards and the reports and stuff like this. And by this time we have already got this. We go back to our cloud and we go back to masterclass. We see the visual. So now we have the tornado chart also with us, and you can see how these visuals are coming up over here. So this is how it is. We can just select a particular month, and you will see in the month of June, weekend, if you call it, a weekend were more active than the weekdays. So for the condiments part in the month of June, so much of information you can just deliver. And when you go to the dashboard part of it, so if you go to the masterclass dashboard, so now you can see that the report page has changed. So what you can do is, because the report page has now changed, so you can delete the tile. You can just manage these tiles absolutely. So that is absolutely not at all a problem. So you can manage the tiles, and what we have done is we have changed the tiles. So we have to bring it back from there. So we can put all these things live and as a part of, so we can bring it back something like this. Go to the dashboard and you will see that it is a part of the dashboard. You can replace, change, modify, whatever. So the tile, some tiles, if it is removed, so those tiles will create a problem. What we can do is we can bring it back to the section over here, and yeah, it takes you back to that particular section. So this was all from module number 6, and hope you got some good understanding of how visualizations in Power BI works. The next module will be completely on the exploratory analysis. So suppose we have data, how do we actually analyze the patterns out of this particular data? So that is the most important thing, and we will see how to explore more using different other types of visual. And so that would be module number 7 precisely, right? So see you there in module 7. Thank you so much for joining this program, joining this session, and I hope this is informative and you are able to understand it. I'll just give you one perspective over here. There might be different other, it's just a small part. Just 15-16 hours of module studies, whatever, 8 hours, 10 hours, what you are doing, this is just a small part of it. Power BI is a huge ocean. So, but at the same time, since we are touching upon all the parameters, all the factors of Power BI, so it is very important that we don't complicate things. So as per my knowledge, till now in my career of just data analytics with Power BI, maybe I am just working on for last 1 decade. Whatever is relevant, I have put all these things into these modules, so that you will be able to just focus on your work rather than consuming everything what Power BI has got. Power BI is bringing up new concepts every month. And these are the concepts that are readily there for now. What are the things that are available now and you can practice? We will see the exploratory data analytics patterns. That is the most important section. After bringing all the visualizations in place, do we have a scope of bringing more visualization? And doing some kind of pattern analysis. Those things we will be seeing in module number 7. So rich with all perspectives of data analysis is what we are targeting and facilitating over here. Thank you so much.